Hello. This is our first in-person podcast. So welcome. This is our little setup in Anthony's garage. Yeah, it's season 2, episode.
Season 3.
Season 3?
Oh, wait.
Oh, my
Did we
God.
just start the new season?
Wait, we're
then
on 3
this?
seasons?
Is this the
We've
third-
been on 3 seasons.
Wait, no, we did.
It's
No,
like
we
episode
haven't.
8. It's
Right?
like episode 8, I
Oh,
think.
wait.
Season 3 episode.
Oh, wait. We're going on to 4.
No, wait.
We're-
It's more than that, right?
No, we're almost at 4.
We don't even know what
We don't
episode
know.
we're on, guys.
Let's double
Yeah,
check.
It's not. We're not too organized. You can tell from the setup.
No, but this is a really important podcast, not because it's just we're all home, but it's nice being home. Obviously, we finished up school somewhat well, but Anthony has a big announcement that he's been working on for the past year. So I mean, if you want to just go ahead and we can talk about it from there.
I'm just going for it.
Yeah, go right into it.
No, actually, don't.
Don't go for it. All right. So yeah. So I mean, this past year, I've been trying to run D1, and there was a lot of twists and turns, and I was at Penn State this last year, and it's looking like I'm gonna go and run D1 for University of Maryland next year. So I'm pretty excited.
Let's go.
Go Terrapins or
Yeah,
something?
dude,
Isn't that a turtle?
Go. You're stupid. No, I don't know.
No, but seriously though, that's awesome for real.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is awesome, dude. Like, I don't know. It hasn't really. I hope they can't hear the police car in the background. But yeah, it's been a lot of work for him. Like, me and Jonah obviously aren't living his life, but like we know we can't even really begin to imagine how much work it's taken, and it's really just a telling story of perseverance.
I'm gonna be real.
Really,
I saw it coming. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, we saw it coming. It doesn't make it any less valuable,
mean,
though.
I knew when he was injured junior year, he wasn't running obviously to the full ability that he could. And when he dropped to 422 at West Hampton Beach senior year, I was like,
Yeah, that was
this
time.
guy is going places. Maybe it was a little bit late in the game, but if he's determined enough, he will definitely run D1. And he's been training for a year straight, like basically almost all alone. So
I want
it's
to say,
just
by the way,
amazing.
wasn't that? I think that was a year ago today.
It was a year
422.
ago
It was
today.
a year ago today. The 422. I have it on my Snapchat memories.
Wait,
You were
really?
You were calling your mom, telling her, and she was like, what?
She's freaking out.
Yeah.
Wow.
She like didn't believe it.
That is
That,
interesting.
that was a surreal day because everyone had a pretty good day that day too. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was
I
like
mean-
just a great meet because we got diner after.
Yeah.
that was my
yeah,
official PR actually, 202,
Yeah,
look
same.
low, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
damn.
202
Okay.
Interesting.
Also.
So yeah,
202
pretty
low.
much everyone ran well that meet.
Yeah.
And you ran 420. You were running with Wyeth and who else? Gavin
Ellers.
Ellers. is in
Gavin
front.
Ellers, yeah.
Yeah, he ran like
Silveri.
418 that day, and I was like,
That was an insanely quick mile, low key.
yeah, I was like, I remember watching. I'm like, wow, Anthony's stupid.
For like some random invitational,
And then
like
he ran
out
4:22.
east, like that was a quick mile.
Well,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was yes, it was a random invitational, but I think it was kind of planned. Like,
it's
hey,
not random.
like
Yeah, no,
because
head to head.
everyone knew Ellers was gonna be there,
Right.
So then all of a sudden, every single
Wyeth,
Everyone
you.
preps for that though. Everyone preps for that day. Like it's kind of a big race because all these good teams are coming,
Right.
and it's just kind of one of those. It's like pre St. Anthony's, like
Yeah, I feel like for not even that big of a meet, like it's like still really competitive, especially for like certain races that people want to stack up. You know.
Yeah.
yeah. But
But,
yeah, man, this year it's been
wild.
there have been some rough points. Let's
Yeah,
just say.
go through that. a
Yeah,
little bit,
no,
'cause I feel
seriously. Like,
you-
what are some of
no
your
one
like?
knows.
What are some of like your biggest takeaways from like basically training alone for, as I said, like basically a year and working your way up to D1? Like,
Biggest takeaways. All right. How about we circle back to that one? So
Okay.
I can,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
think
we can
about
cir-
it a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
we'll think about it.
We'll circle
But,
back to that one. But
Yeah.
okay, so what do you guys want to know?
I mean,
I'll
we
answer your
kind of know,
questions.
but other people don't, you know. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like I would like just describe like the process of, like, did you ever waver in your D1 aspirations? I know the answer to this, but I'm sure other people don't.
So that's a good question, because I think everybody has doubts. I did doubt at some points, but there was never a day when I woke up in the morning and looked at myself in the mirror and said, I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, if you want to just scroll, make sure it's gone.
Yeah.
Actually, see here. I'll cut this out. See on the top right, Como.
yeah.
Like, see how in the, how in like iMovie, yeah, just do it like as much as you can, so we can like, is it? Do you know what I mean? Oh wait, no, like the minuscule amount.
We're doing good.
Okay.
I can hear all you guys, so
Okay.
I'll know if we start cutting out.
Okay.
We have
Oh,
to
yeah.
worry about the camera.
right.
Okay. So yeah, no. So basically, there was never a day when I woke up, looked myself in the mirror, and told myself I'm not going to make the Penn State team. And I think, to get to the point of making the Penn State team, I had to have that mindset. You know what I mean? It wasn't a oh, I'm gonna go out and maybe I'll make it. It was like, no, I'm making it. I'm doing this. And obviously I'm going to Maryland now.
Yeah.
But I think to get to that point of making the team, you'll doubt yourself at points, but you can't if you tell yourself you're not gonna do it.
Right.
If you say you're not gonna do it.
I feel like you definitely adopt that like all or nothing kind of mentality sometimes, and like you get it done like 99% of the time. So,
Yeah. How did so I don't know if this is true, but I feel like that 422, just going back to that, had to have like played into your mindset though of like, I can do this, because I feel like for me, I always saw you as like, you and me were pretty close, and so was Jonah. We were all running mid 430s and stuff, and then that race, I was like, this is a new level.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think if it weren't for that race, you'd be in a different position mentally, or?
I think because I broke 2 in the 800 before that, I was already kind of in the, like, I'm really good at this mindset.
Right.
The 422 just really reinforced it, but if anything, it helped me make the decision to go to Penn State, because obviously Gondak, the head coach, we told him, we said, hey, I just ran 422. I think I can run 417 next time. And he said, okay, our standard's 417. Obviously, I didn't run 417, but it put me in a position to be like, I think I can run 417.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it didn't shift my mindset too much. It just kind of shifted, I guess. It reinforced it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like that whole season just reinforced it. I mean, think
Yeah,
about
that was
think
the
about what you
breakout.
did. I mean, like, you ran a solo 158 at a dual meet. That's like,
What was that, Lindenhurst, right?
that's
Something like
pretty
that?
fast.
Yeah, that was gross. I remember I was taking a shit, and I was like, Anthony's running the 800 right now.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch this. I know he's gonna run
Exactly.
158.
Like, literally, like the 422, as excellent as it was, like that whole season, like think about that. Like you carried us in the divisions 4x8. That comeback, that was incredible.
I love it. That was
like-
the comeback. That was the
Counties,
comeback.
unfortunately, like, we didn't come away with the win, but like still, you ran your ass off against literally the county champion in the 800 after
Yeah.
you doubled, like,
Yeah,
and you ran longer than him, to be fair. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like every time you stepped on the track that season, it was just like something
in it.
something was gonna happen. Something
Yeah.
absurd was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, it comes back to that mindset of, not, like you get on the track and you're like, all right, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to do this. There's no, I might do it. You know what I mean? It's either I do it or I don't.
Yeah.
And after I ran 422 and I had to run 417, I was in the mindset of I might do this.
Mhm.
And then I didn't. I ran 429.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I didn't get onto the Penn State team.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
So
it's
you kind of like limited yourself in your own head. kind
Exactly.
of,
Yeah, I think it's really easy to do that, especially like when you're just used to failing. The thing with like running is like you're not going to PR every time, and it's really easy to get comfortable in not PRing.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, like I had the race at Banana Relays. I ran like 4:45 or something, and I just got in the race. I'm like, I don't feel good. Probably not gonna run 4:35 today, so I ran 4:45, and
Right.
it's like that. It's really easy to fall into that. It's almost comfortable to be failing, and I think that's really what you did great in that season. That's kind of, you've carried that momentum through, because you've been doing, I mean, for people who don't know, I mean, if you've been keeping up with Head Start, Anthony's been PRing pretty much every other race.
Yeah.
It's not to say that it's been like that easy.
Right.
Obviously, he's fucking worked for it, but
The mentality part
mentality
plays a
of
huge
just
part.
keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that's something. It's really all about momentum there too, and just knowing when you do fail that's not the norm.
Yeah. And honestly, I mean, listen, if you do have a bad season, and I guess this can be for anyone watching, you can always say, like, I personally believe it takes one race to have a good season. You know what I mean? You can be doing shit the entire season, and then all of a sudden you PR by 5 seconds.
Right.
Boom. Instantly, this is a great season. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so
That's true.
it's really just about, getting out of the mindset of, I might do this. That's the worst place you can be in as a runner to improve.
Yeah.
You know
I think
what
in
I mean?
anything, 'cause you're just gonna half-ass life.
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
you can't-
I think it's less of like do or do not, and more of like I'm going to do everything I can to do this,
Yeah,
right?
well, you
Because some
dive in.
some days like you really won't have it, like for whatever reason, just like you're not going to be at your peak like every single time you race. However, like if you come into the mindset with I'm going to do everything I can to run as fast as possible, like, and I think that's what you really embrace, like that get it done attitude. I think that really just like helps, you know, like, and you were talking about how like even your mentality kind of like you got used to like
it
like,
does that.
Yeah,
I think many people do. I think a lot of people who haven't been doing as well as they wanted to, like on our team, or just runners that I know, or even just athletes in general, get almost comfortable because you're just like, it's whatever, I'm good enough, you know.
Right.
430 is decent.
Yeah.
and then you start like
shit.
thinking about like, you know who talks about this a lot, the Newbury Park boys coach. You ever heard him say like 420 isn't fast for a high school mile or something like that?
Yeah, I've heard him say
Yeah,
that.
there's this whole interview, which frankly for viewers watching, I disagree with. 420 is very fast. No, but his whole attitude is like don't settle for what you think is like your peak, you know?
Yeah.
Like you always have to like keep on like rising and like, because there is more. Like what is great in your mind is great. However, once you get there, it's like, okay, what now? You know?
Yeah.
And I think, as I said, like you did a great job of like Andrew was saying as well, like keeping that momentum, keeping your foot on the gas, and not like settling for less. Like even though like sure you didn't get down to 417, but like you didn't let that season even like stop you from like even still working to get down, because now you're on like a 419. So
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, yeah, it's just incredible.
It's gonna be faster than 419 soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, have you gone summer training yet or anything?
Yeah, I wanted to
what's
ask
the
about
future
that
look
too.
Okay, here,
yeah.
wait. Do you want to like do this in chronological order, or do you want me to just like jump around and answer?
I kind of wanted to do that's why I didn't want to ask that yet, because I
okay.
wanted to start by asking like, what do you think like helped your training get to? What do you think in your training helped to get you where you are now, running at a D1 level? And then like, what are your plans for like the summer, like for Maryland? How are you gonna change it up or just keep the same?
So to help me get to the D1 level, Mr. Leibowitz.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
He's a beast.
Shout out Mr. Leibowitz.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
I don't know if he sees this, but
I think
I'm
he
pretty
does
sure
actually.
he listens
Yeah.
to some.
I love Mr.
Some of them.
Leibowitz.
But,
He's been so important though, like, for the whole team.
There's really no way I would have done it without him, because from summer training, I think it was summer. He gave me training during the summer, and then it might have not been during the summer. I don't really remember, but it started end of summer then, and right into club cross country season. And every day I would either text him or he would send me like a week's worth of training, and then it was like I had a run CCG coach,
Right.
but like also knew my entire past of running, and you know,
really
he was in it just as much as I was every step of the way.
Yeah.
You know, and
No, I heard when we were watching your race against Robbie, he was so pissed, like throwing stuff at the TV, according to Brian, about how the they weren't filming the race like the whole time. They were doing the people like the
Wait, which race was it? Was
it
cross
senior?
country?
It was the 5K when he ran 15:27 or something like that.
yeah, it was a 5K at Susquehanna University.
Oh.
Yeah, they did not film the whole thing.
Oh,
During my
interesting.
exact race, they had a seniors like goodbye ceremony, and instead of filming the race, just filmed the seniors like
Oh.
Yeah.
getting
That's
like
sucks.
But
flowers.
that just goes to show like how much he cares, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he would watch something like that, and I thought that's just so sweet.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, yeah, it's a team effort for you guys. And
Yeah, no, because you know, as much as I was by myself this entire year, because I didn't really bond with too many people on the club team, because I felt like the club team is a little bit more of a social environment, whereas I was only in it for the I need to go D1 type of thing.
you need someone like that to be with you.
And I met a couple people like that. But basically having Mr. Leibowitz there, it was just it just really like that's really all it is.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I
it's
couldn't have
different.
done it
Like it's
without him.
different because when you make your own training, you know, you can have doubts and everything like that. But like when someone's giving you it, and someone that you really trust and that knows you well, and someone as knowledgeable as Mr. Leibowitz, it's like you can really like. You have to put a lot of trust in them, but like you can trust that at the end of the day, because they know you and they have all this experience, and you know he used to run really fast.
It's like a
I'm pretty
404
sure.
guy or something,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
something
404.
crazy.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
149.
that's like 350, like something for like his age, because back then it was 404 was not that. Like, that was crazy fast.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays 404 is 404, which is still crazy.
I mean, it's it's still
404 is still crazy.
Yeah.
But like that's like top of his game, like NCAA. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
That
good.
is-
Like specifically, how do you think was it a lot more cross training with Mr. Leibowitz, like compared to like high school or something, or was it like a lot of the same but just like different in some ways?
So basically, during cross country, I would swim and bike a lot. Okay, I was running probably 35 miles a week.
Interesting.
Just tap the computer, make sure it doesn't turn off. There we go. Yeah, it's still going good. That's perfect. Okay. So, yeah, during cross-country season, it was basically we still going?
There we go.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, good catch. During cross-country season, it was, I was basically swimming maybe once a week or biking once a week. The rest of the days were running. I was running probably 35 miles a week, which I didn't know was low mileage. Like,
Really?
it just didn't.
That's interesting.
Well,
like-
35 miles and 5, it's still 7 miles a day, right? It's like
Yeah,
decent.
but I was doing long runs, you know what I mean? So, like, it was
Yeah.
probably like, I'd go out for a 4-mile run every now and then and be like, that's good.
Yeah.
Whereas,
It's interesting that he likes that even for a cross country season too.
Well,
You know?
wasn't it because you're a bit injury prone, so maybe
Yeah.
is that probably the moral behind it?
yeah, so actually, the whole idea was to train for a 5K. I wasn't training for an 8K. But even then, I was still running a little bit low mileage. But it was basically to not get injured. Was the whole idea behind it. And then as winter came around, I started to up it a little bit more. And then as really spring came around, I got into the highest I've ever been, which some runners might laugh at this, but it was 50-mile weeks consecutively. But then I would also swim and bike sometimes.
That's a lot of mileage.
To mix that in with cross training, that's pretty great, honestly.
And I really like the way that you did it. That because a lot of times with running, it's really easy to have like short-term goals. It's like I train for 10 weeks, and in this 10-week training block, I want to run like for me, let's say I want to break 16 the 5K.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and while that's great and all, especially I haven't really had the history of injuries like both of you guys have had, but I think it seems like he set longer term goals where the goal of the first season is to not get injured, so your body's strengthened by the time of winter, and then you could really kick it into gear a little bit more, and then you keep on upping the ante a little bit more with your training, and that's probably a smart way to do it, because you can't just go balls deep into training after 2 weeks.
And it's interesting how like a lot of like people at the pro level I feel like they don't really realize the benefit of like of cross training, because I feel like I see all these athletes nowadays like getting like stress fractures, all this stuff, and like obviously they're doing a lot higher volume and intensity. However, like you can get so much even better aerobic benefits by doing a lot of cross training and less wear and tear on your body by doing, like you said, 35-mile weeks and like cross training. Like that's good, like aerobically, and even though like you might not be like the strongest runner, like I think that's a great way to ease into like a longer training block. And like Andrew was saying, like it's a matter of like longevity and not necessarily like getting to point A to point B. It's like getting to point A to point B and making sure you don't like injure yourself along the way, because I feel like that's happened to us like very frequently, especially you and I. So
running is kind of a game of how far can I push myself before I get injured,
right?
And too often
it's too far.
It's too far.
Yeah.
But like no, for example, and it's funny because I ran 30 miles this week. Last September that would have been enough, but it wasn't. I've also biked 100 miles this week.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
So like, disgusting. Well, but that's what I mean. Is like, last September, 30 miles was enough.
It was 30 miles.
Yeah.
And it was just 30 miles.
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
biking miles.
Yeah. I've built up now over the year to get to a point where, my body can do that now.
Yeah.
And it's just consistency and building. That's really all that's really all it is.
And also I think some people, if you follow Head Start a little bit, you probably know that Anthony's probably better than me and Jonah by a lot with his recovery and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
He does so much PT, which I think also shouldn't be. It's not just the cross training; it's the PT, it's the stretching every day.
Take notes, guys. Like
rolling.
Not even just stretching, just like all the strengthening stuff. Like that is so important. If you have any like muscle imbalances, like he takes care of his body like amazingly, and like for runners especially, taking a lot of impact every day. Like you're bound to have some problems, and he's done the best to combat that. I remember when we had like similar injuries once. I think it was senior or junior year. It was like foot issues or something. Or I had foot problems and you had shin problems. Or Achilles.
It's been Achilles and arch stuff.
Right, Achilles and arch stuff. And like we had similar injuries, and I remember just getting very like discouraged from it, like kind of cross training, kind of like not gonna lie, half-assing PT, just being like kind of like sulking. And I remember seeing Anthony go out for like, all these bike miles, swimming a lot, taking great care of his body, and like that season he ended up running 4:22. And granted, I was still kind of half injured throughout the spring season, but I could have done a lot more to care for myself. And I think that's a good lesson for anyone watching. Just if you have any issues, don't be afraid to reach out to a physical therapist and get an appointment with them, or even just look stuff up and be consistent with it. Like, trust that what they're saying is going to get you better. And just being, as I said, consistent and really patient with recovery is huge.
With that consistency, though, and okay, so I'm gonna just, I guess, I'll give an example about this year, just to add on to that.
Yeah.
So, it's not like I didn't get injured. I have gotten injured a couple times this year,
Right.
and I've taken a couple weeks out, cross-trained here and there, and so the biggest thing that you have to realize, or not you, but you know what I mean, is that I guess in terms of my life this year, it's not a balanced life. It's not, you know what I mean? And like, I kind of had to make peace with the fact that I was not going to have a balanced life this year. And I realized that early on, but I was also okay with that early on. And that's a big, that's a big commitment, and it's not, that's why it's not for everybody, because, some people, they want that balance, they want to balance the social with the fitness. And for me, fitness was my social.
Yeah.
And, waking up, because scheduling my classes for 8 a.m. so I could get a run in at 5:30, that was the life I was living. And then come back, eat dinner, because the dining hall was going to close, and then stretch right after, and then also to keep my grades up and then study. I mean, it was constantly just one thing, the next thing, because I trained probably for like 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And that's,
I believe that easy.
there were some days I would leave my dorm at 5:30. I would get back to the point where I could start doing homework at 8:45.
Yeah.
And it's
a lot.
I mean, that's travel time too, to get to like maybe the gym if I was doing stuff that day, or like the pool if I was doing stuff there that day. But it's also because I didn't have the resources of a D1 athlete. I mean,
Right.
I had to go out and do it at I guess you would call it the
Residential.
public.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that to like
Discourage anyone or to make someone feel bad.
Yeah, basically I'm just trying to put emphasis on the fact that doing something like that is
It's just not for everybody.
yeah,
It's also
no,
not sustainable. Like,
It's
you
not.
made that sacrifice for
Yeah.
Yeah.
that period of time. I
That's
completely
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I did
That's
the
a
same thing
word.
this year too.
Yeah.
Except I wasn't for training; it was for school.
Yeah, no,
And
exactly.
It sucks.
Right.
Like, if you take anything, like, don't. I'm not saying don't take Anthony as a role model, but don't take what he did this year as something that your life should be exactly
Right.
like that all the time.
Exactly.
Not that you shouldn't work hard or anything, but
Just
he-
know that
he
it
had to
takes
a
sacrifice.
lot.
Right. That's a huge
For this
word.
year.
I think that would describe this year for Anthony, sacrifice. Like, college is a lot more than, just, school and training for a lot of people. And you had to like kind of put that aside, but you were comfortable with that. Right. And
Yeah.
again, like
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
worth
for
it.
everybody.
He's going to Maryland now.
Yeah,
He can have
exactly.
that.
And
I
hard
really
work
hope-
pays off,
it worked out.
sacrifice, sacrifice. This is what got him here, and, yeah, just amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, what other questions do you guys
Summer
got?
training. I want to.
Summer
Like your
training.
plan for the future.
Yeah.
Because I
So
want to get in on
If
some
I were to
summer training.
guess, you're probably trying to increase volume of
Yeah,
crap
like
done
at least
because
70
college
miles,
mileage is
right.
probably a
So
lot.
I have my ideal plan, but it's a relatively short answer I have for you guys. I reached out to my coach today, and I'll find out soon.
Oh, really? Okay.
so,
Nice.
So that's the answer
So,
I have for
short
you guys.
answer. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Ideally, I would like to get to 70 miles a week.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Do you
Mine's
know?
pretty
Have you
high.
asked anyone on the team like what their like summer training's like?
I think people are going from they range, from like
Really?
50 to
Yeah.
probably
That's
90.
good. I like
Depends.
that
Yeah,
how it's more
'cause
personalized.
That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I mean, that's part of why you chose the school, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Because he seems to be a
They're-
little bit more personalized.
Yeah, they try to keep their distance team around like 10 people, 10 guys.
Really?
That
Yeah.
is tiny.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is
no, it's
small.
For a
Yeah.
Big Ten team
Yep.
too.
Yep.
My God.
Because they are a sprinting dominant program, so the distance team, they keep it around 10 guys, and basically what they do is that allows them to individualize everything.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Penn State distance team,
Huge.
I'm pulling this number out of my ass, maybe anywhere from like 30, 40 guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
No,
Yeah.
seems like that.
No,
Why
they
not?
seem like they have a big program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
they're that kind of school.
Yeah. So, you know, this group do that. This group do that. This group do that. Maybe there's 10, 11, 12 guys per group. You know, maybe Johnny from group 1 shouldn't do what Johnny number 2 from group 1's doing.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
That's really awesome,
It's-
honestly, because I feel like that's a lot like what we did in high school. Like it was
Yeah.
very like
Yeah, 'cause we
like
really
Robbie
had-
would go out for those longer runs, and
Yeah.
like I'd sometimes do like workouts with the sprinters. You know, like I think it's great that you can have that personalization. That's only gonna
Yeah.
I feel like that's only gonna help like as an athlete.
especially since like you have had a history of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Having a coach that's aware of that and can work around that is super important.
Yeah.
Because you could have a coach where they just kind of throw you in the deep end.
Right.
And they're like, all right, do 70 miles
Yeah.
or get injured. I don't
Yeah.
really
Right,
care.
right.
And for you, I hope that your training's a little bit more.
It's less sink
scale
or
it up
swim.
slowly.
Yeah, less
Yeah,
sink or swim,
yeah.
and more like
Yeah.
let's train, but let's train in a safe and a way to adjust to that Division 1 kind of like
Yeah.
intensity and
Yeah.
volume, and I think honestly like a small team, like you're gonna get really close with those guys in my opinion, because
Yeah.
you're gonna be traveling a lot.
Yeah. I
It's-
hope so.
If it's
That'd
only
be
like
awesome.
10 or 15
Yeah.
guys, like that's gonna be awesome.
That's
yeah.
like pretty much like War Melville, to be
Yeah,
honest.
seriously.
Like,
Yeah.
You
No,
guys are all.
that top group. Yeah.
And I heard you like the guys, right? Yeah, I know
Oh,
you haven't
yeah.
really met them that much, but
You know, I've
I've
talked
seen-
to a couple of them. They're really good guys.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I'm
great.
excited.
yeah.
But no, it's gonna be cool because you know how technically, I guess, I guess senior year, not last year.
Yeah.
I guess I was running 800 a lot. So this year I transitioned. I'm gonna be a miler to 5K runner.
Interesting.
Nice. That's like where
Yeah.
I feel like.
I think
where you wanted to be.
that
That's
is
where
your
you should
sweet
be.
spot.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's like
I'm super
the
excited.
G
Yeah.
spot.
That's gonna be great.
So okay, yeah. So basically, this past year, I started racing the 3K in my first 3K race was at the Armory.
I
when you
remember
and me
that.
went, and I shit the fucking bed.
Anthony shitting the bed, by the way, was basically running. I raced a 1K with him, if you didn't know, and he ran like 3 of my 1Ks in a row. At his fats, pretty much.
Well, you ran like 254, right? 253,
251.
250. Yeah, no.
No,
Okay.
actually, 250 flat, I think. No biggie.
Okay. Yeah. So that was not my PR. That was like PR 3K pace. Not even.
Oh,
Which is
So,
still
I
like
only ran 3 of
yuck.
those when I PR'd in a row. Just gross.
Okay. So I think I ended up running for the 3K when you and me were there. It was like what 925.
Yeah, 921 maybe, I think.
Okay, so
Something like that.
realistically, it was like just 10 flats, just sub 10, just
Right.
sub 10.
You were
Like back
gapped,
to where
though,
you
like
were in
you
high
had
school,
no
kind
one
of.
to run with.
Yeah.
That's
That
true.
was
That's true.
really
You kind of like tied your PR almost a little bit. or-
Basically, yeah.
pretty much tied your PR.
Yeah. But then I come back a couple weeks later and I run 9. What was it? It was 956 in the 3K. So I went from
856.
856.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember
remember
that.
that.
That was
You made like a
a real
30-second jump.
I
like
seen 8 like 8 point something or whatever
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
like in the group chat. I was like 8.
wait
Yeah.
a
What?
minute.
It's
yeah.
supposed to be a 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally what? It's like a 9:32 mile basically.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's like a quick 20-second PR, no big.
Yeah.
And then
Uh-oh.
and then
then
I ran
he doesn't
8
stop there, ladies and gentlemen.
Then I ran 8. Was it 47 or 52?
I thought you
think it
ran
was
47, then you ran 52, and then
Okay.
you ran like
Okay.
whatever your
Yeah.
PR is now.
Yeah.
So I ran a couple, maybe 2 weeks later, I ran 847, okay? And then, by the way, all right, so I won the 856, I won the 847, okay? And then I started getting attention from colleges when I ran 847.
Right.
And actually one of the standards, because I was still, Penn State was still my 100% goal at that point from, touch the computer. One of my standards at that point, which was Penn State was still the 100% goal, was to hit a 922 mile. Okay, no,
Mhm.
was it 915 or 920?
Yeah.
It was 920.
That was one of the standards that Gondak
we
gave
had
you.
it on our group chat name.
Yeah,
Used to
but
be-
that's
Right.
long gone.
Yeah.
But okay, so 915, 920. So like, I was maybe like close. I was almost there.
Yeah.
And then I had a meeting with the coach. He was a nice guy and stuff, but it ended up he told me then to go run 8:30 for the 3K. He said
Yeah.
go hit
I
8:30.
feel like they kept on doing this to you though, that like where it was like run this. Actually, run faster.
Yeah.
Let's be as ambiguous as possible.
Right,
and
right.
not really tell you what to run,
Yeah.
but just keep on edging you along.
Yeah.
Why,
That's
you
what
know?
that's what bothered me, and that's why I think you made the right decision. Because no disrespect to Penn State or anything, but
They just couldn't stick to their word.
They
Like,
weren't sticking to it. It didn't seem, and they just wanted more and more and more from you when you were already working your ass off.
Yeah.
like training alone and everything. Like no resources from Division One, like
Yeah,
at
you
all.
just
You
kind of
know?
get pushed to the side. And I
Exactly.
feel like that's what they do to you.
I
if you run
almost
the
feel
team.
like he was kind of discouraging you.
Almost, yeah. He was
in
like, we
some
don't
ways.
even want you.
Well, he wasn't encouraging me.
Yeah, no,
that's
no.
the thing though,
Yeah.
right? Because you can clearly see you came to him with a fucking binder of
Yeah.
all your training.
Oh, yeah,
You came to
dude.
him with all this shit. You're
Right.
clearly working hard, and he's just like,
Yeah.
run faster. We
Yeah.
don't. I
Yeah,
actually
no.
don't give a. You're not a human if you don't run 8:30.
So
I don't care
basically, yeah, I
about-
went to that meeting with the head coach. He looked at some of my times. He told me he couldn't coach speed, and then he told me to run faster in the 3K. And I left, and I was just like, how am I gonna hit an 8:30?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
just like it
That's-
seems impossible.
It's too
that
fast
doesn't-
right
I
now.
can't even imagine the feeling. Like your gut just drops when
Yeah.
you hear that. You're just like,
That's basically what
Okay.
happened. And that was actually probably the first time that I felt like, oh fuck.
When was that conversation?
That
Just
conversation was
read
probably
the
3 weeks before the semester ended.
Wow.
4 weeks maybe before the
Yeah,
semester
so
ended.
you really got
Before
in like, the nick
before
of time to find
the
out.
second semester or for the
Before the end of the year.
Yeah, because I remember that was like, because he was already getting offers from like Maryland and stuff
Yeah.
at this point, and Elon, he was kind of going between them.
Yeah.
first semester?
I know
No,
that we were
second
pushing-
semester.
Oh, second semester. I'm like,
second
wait,
semester.
You're like, what?
I'm
Yeah,
like, wait, what?
We were waiting on that meeting to
Right,
see
right,
what,
right.
what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind
So-
of glad it went poorly, to be honest,
Right.
because I think Maryland's going to be a
Yes.
better place.
A
for
much
you.
better place.
So I told myself, I was like, going into the meeting, I was like, if I had come out of this meeting without a spot on Penn State, I'm going to a different school.
Yeah.
That was easier said than done before the meeting.
Right.
So I came out of the meeting and I was like, all right, you know what? I still got to make these times because I really want to make Penn State. And then, so then I go and he tells me to keep him updated. A week later, I run 8:52. I had to run 8:30.
Yeah.
That I led the whole race and then got out kicked in the last 200 meters.
Right.
Dude was a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And then, so then, okay, then I emailed the coach.
Yeah.
He basically, he's like, he can't do anything for me at that point. He's like, sorry, like, that's not fast
Hit the
enough.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I go to the Bucknell Invitational, and I run 8:38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Which
Wait, you run 8:38 now?
I run 8:38.
Wait,
my
I
God,
forgot
I
about
thought-
that.
I thought you
Oh god, I forgot he was even
Okay.
faster. I actually literally forgot about that. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
Okay.
That makes me
Go
sick to
on.
my stomach.
Fucking disgusting.
Oh my god.
That one was that was a real D1 meet, okay?
Yeah. I know Sean Ryan was racing there.
Yeah.
I remember I was with him at the track a few days ago. I'm like, yeah, my friend's gonna be there. Actually,
That's like a
I didn't
nine.
know.
That's
Yeah.
like a 9:12 2-mile for people watching.
Yeah,
or
I think it's
3200.
around 9:15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's like I
still.
think it was 9:15.
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
I
So-
remember talking about that.
Yeah, yeah, and then I ran the 9:15, or I ran the 8:38, and then I crossed the finish line. I talked to some friends on the infield. I turn around, there's the coach, and so I go. I shake
Gondak.
his- Was it? Yeah,
Oh.
Gondak?
yeah.
Really?
He
So
was
I go,
there. Wait, why was he there?
Penn State was
Penn
there.
State was with them.
Oh.
D1 race.
Yep.
Interesting.
But I got third place in that race.
Wait, you were racing
a
against
D1
D1
race?
guys?
Third place.
Like oh my god.
Yeah. Dude,
Yikes.
okay. Actually, let me break down that race a little bit, okay?
Oh.
I mean, first of all, before you break that
After
down,
that, he's still just like
yeah, like if you see a club
I'll
guy
tell you- I'll
placing
tell you what
third in a meet that like your D1 guys are at, I'd be like, why is this guy not on the team?
Well,
Like,
there were no Penn State guys in that
Oh.
They weren't running the 3K.
Oh, okay,
Still, though, you
okay,
came
but
third
still,
in
but
a
still,
third in a D1 race.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to use like this
Hello?
podcast to just be like, hey, I'm outraged I didn't make the Penn State team, because realistically, like, I don't want to.
I think it's for the better,
We're
no.
outraged. It's just, it's you're not saying.
We're
anything.
outraged that they
We're
didn't
saying
see
stuff.
the catch that they missed out on. To be fair,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it's their loss.
It is their
Maryland's
loss.
getting a fucking great kid,
Exactly.
and they're gonna be a up and coming D1.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
distance
it's
team
great.
now.
break down that race though. I want to hear.
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the gun went off, and for some reason I did not get a good start. So instantly, there's 30 guys on the track. I am boxed in the middle. I'm boxed on the inside of lane 1 in the back of the pack. So I take the first lap. I'm like, I try not to freak out, because I'm like, okay, if I freak out, I go to the front and like I somehow get out and sprint to the front, I'm gonna die. And then so I stay calm, and then maybe 800 meters into the race, 600 meters into the race, I get out. But I almost trip into the infield, which would have DQ'd
Oh,
me,
God.
and that was very nerve-wracking. So I get out, and I don't like pushing people in races, so I actually apologized to the dude next to me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, sorry. And then he didn't say anything back, which
Well,
made me
yeah,
sad.
well, you are racing a 3K, so
Yeah.
I don't
But,
blame him.
Yeah, but you gotta be a nice guy.
Yeah.
Anthony's always a nice guy.
Maybe get another like second or two off that PR if you
Yeah.
don't do that. But
But anyway, okay. So then by the end of the first 1K, I'm up in the front pack, and I just sat on 2 guys. I sat on 3 guys. The third one dropped back, and then I was now in 3rd place. And we literally just sat. We were clicking off. It must have been 68s because it was 4:36 per mile.
Wow.
And then
my PR.
no, it was okay. Yeah, it was 6. It was
PR, I think, right?
That is my PR. I'm gonna
it
cry.
was 68 point something per lap because 4:30 I think is 4:38, 4:36 per mile, or 4:34. I don't know.
Wait, what?
8:30 is 4:30.
4:30
Wait,
is 67.5, I think.
Oh,
Okay,
For-
so
for
whatever. It whatever.
math.
Yeah.
I don't know
was,
what's going
We're
on.
runners. Come on.
It basically got to a point where the Maryland coach was also there and she was cheering me on. So this was the first time.
Wait, the Maryland coach is a female?
Distant coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not
You are-
sexist.
you are
I'm just saying.
Piece of
I
shit.
literally like. I feel like I don't know. I feel like every distance coach
Jonah.
just
New
so
topic.
happens to be
New
a
topic.
male.
New topic.
Look, this is just messed up. The coach is gonna see this, and she's just
Okay,
gonna be like, "Wow,
we're gonna cut
sucks.
this. We're gonna cut this out of the podcast.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not counting.
Yes,
That's
you
so
are.
much
Nope,
worse.
you're cutting
Dang
this out of the
it, Jonah,
podcast.
please.
Now I
Okay.
feel bad.
Head
Now I
Start
feel
does
bad.
not condone this.
Shut
kind
up.
of
Now I feel bad.
homophobia,
Now I feel
sexism,
bad.
Whatever.
Also,
Um,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's you're good.
Okay, so whatever it's called, yeah, so she was there. So this was the first race in over a year now, that I had a coach there at the track cheering me on. So I just kind of like kicked it into gear, tried my absolute hardest, stuck on to people. They ended up taking the last lap in around, I think the first place dude ran a 57, 58 last lap. I ran probably like 64. I don't
Wow. Yeah.
know.
It's
I
evenly
just tried to
paced,
kick,
roughly though.
but here, real quick, because I know we do have to end soon. We're
Yeah.
kind of out on time. But I want to talk about the mile race.
Yes.
Or not the 1500 race.
Yeah.
Something happened in the beginning of my spring season where, I just was not there. Like,
Yeah.
I was going through a little bit of, like, maybe, because that's when, the end of the year is coming around. I wasn't getting too much stuff from the Penn State head coach to, like, encourage me. But what did happen is I ran a really bad 1500. I ran 4:14. And then what ended up happening is later on at actually NERCA Nationals, that's the club nationals.
Isn't this after running an 800, by the way?
Yeah, it was after running 800.
All right, go on.
But I ran the 4:02, and that one was crazy because nobody saw that coming. Like, I mean, just the speed of the race, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
So we knew everyone was going to go out fast. It's just we didn't know everyone was going to hold.
Was
it.
this a club race and you?
Yeah, NERCA Nationals.
Club
Oh,
race.
NERCA
NERCA
Nationals. Oh God,
yeah.
why am I not?
So
thinking?
we were there, and then I ran 4:02, and that was kind of like oh shit, I just kind of PR'd in the mile. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that also like you can come like second or third in like the fucking
Not second or third. It was an All-American because it was
So top six.
Yeah.
You
so
you
it was
were
an
sixth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an All-American.
All American
It's
right here,
it's
guys.
club. It's club. It's club.
But
It's
still,
like, dude,
it's the fastest club runners in the country, and there's some
Yeah.
fast club runners.
it's like the D1 for club. Like that's
Yeah.
like, ugh,
That's great, man.
Well,
I mean, that's.
I
just-
guess here. Do you guys have any?
like cotton mouth.
Do you have any more questions?
I mean, I just did want to ask one last thing, like apart from like the team and the running side of it, like, are you excited to be like leaving Penn State and going to Maryland, or do you not know much about like the school itself and all
It's
that?
gotta be similar, right? They're both.
Yeah.
I am very excited to be leaving Penn State and going to Maryland because I feel like Maryland has a lot more to offer me in terms of academics and athletic ability.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of
Yeah.
the whole package. I know some
Right.
people that go there and they love it. It's also a beautiful area, right?
It
It's
is
like
a
right off
beautiful
Maryland,
school.
the Chesapeake.
Yeah.
And
It's a beautiful looking school.
yeah, you're not in bumblefuck nowhere, Penn State. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Who wants to be in
listen,
Pennsylvania?
Penn State's not a bad school. It's not. If I made the team, I probably would have stayed there because it had everything else I needed. But just when it came down to it, Maryland had everything else.
Yeah, it just has it.
So, I guess one thing I'll end this with is that if to anybody in a similar situation or like just trying to get a goal, like as distant as it might seem, it is doable. And I know that's simple, but I mean, honestly, here, I'm just going to keep spiraling here.
Yeah.
If there's one thing else another thing I've learned this year, if it's simple, it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, the simpler, the better. If the training is simple, the racing is simple, you don't overthink anything, and then it's just better that way. It's simple.
Just training to put yourself like in the best position so that you get on that starting line. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna run fast.
Exactly.
You know, like that's like the best feeling when like you have like a great block of training and you step on the track and you're already.
Yeah.
It's like you have those nerves, but you already like.
Mhm.
I'm confident. You know.
Yeah.
And I've only had that a few times, but like when I have, it's like it's been a
Yeah.
great race. So.
And it's just there are days when you don't want to do it, and I know before I said there wasn't a day when I woke up and looked in the mirror where I said I'm not going to make the team. That didn't mean I wanted to train. There were some depressing periods where I did not want to train.
Right.
It was the last thing I wanted to do. But it came down to what other option do I have?
Right.
I owe it to Mr. Leibowitz. I owe it to myself.
Yeah.
And I felt like I just owed it to everyone. Like you guys, we were doing Head Start running. It wasn't just a
It was non-negotiable kind of
yeah,
thing.
it wasn't because you kind of have a whole community around you. I mean, at least I know that me and Jonah are very invested in your success too. It's like, it's not just you who cares. It's everyone around you. You have everyone invested.
Yeah.
And it may not always feel like that, but like,
Yeah.
no matter who you are, not just Anthony.
Yeah, no, anyone.
Like just
yeah.
there are people that care about you and your success, and I think not to stress anyone out that is worried about being successful or attaining a goal, but just knowing that you have those people to
Rely on
to-
kind
Yeah,
of.
Yeah.
you have those people to rely on. And
Have the people to
are
lift you up,
invested.
and they care about
They care.
your success and just your well-being. You know.
Yeah.
I personally feel that everybody has a responsibility to go after their dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, then the only person to blame is yourself. But, I also feel you kind of owe it to the people that have helped you and care about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's only right.
that's just kind of how I see all the training and stuff I'm doing now. It's not just for me anymore.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
now that I'm
bigger
a
than
part of
you.
the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that
You know?
Big Ten team.
Must be nice to be back on an actual team now.
Dude, just the fact that I still feel weird saying, I'm a Big Ten runner.
Yeah.
that has not
He's a
registered
Big Ten
yet.
boy.
Big time
Yeah.
guy.
So,
Thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for watching. If you've
Yeah.
watched this far,
This-
Anthony is going to Maryland next year, and
it's our
Andrew and I
first-
will still be at our schools.
probably.
I'll be
We'll figure that out.
try to be running more club at Syracuse, and Andrew is
I'm going to try if they want to. They don't really take it too serious either, but
yeah.
we'll be running.
Thank you guys for listening. I guess this is our first in-person
Yeah,
podcast.
Sorry for the
More in-person podcasts.
this
we'll have a
is a
camera next
setup.
time and
Yeah,
a
we'll
better setup.
improvise
But,
here.
This setup's if you're
we're
watching the
using Jonah's
video.
phone.
Yeah, if you're watching the video here, it's a little bit messy, but we're working on it. The setup's a work in progress. We're gonna get it down. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to my story. Bye.
Yeah.